my name is Amber. This is Kaleidoscope Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we're just going to do a simple slow flow today to kind of stretch out some tired muscles, get into our bodies, connect with the breath. So I would love, if you enjoy this practice, for you to subscribe, comment, or like the video. It would mean so much to me, and I do appreciate that you're here. So let's go ahead and begin in child's pose. So just coming on to the hands and the knees, bringing the toes together, widening the knees a little bit. So we have this nice space for our belly to relax. Hey, Jolly. Stretching the arms out in front of you, relaxing the forehead down towards the ground. Being mindful that if the forehead doesn't reach the ground, you can place a blanket or towel underneath the forehead, or you can use a yoga block or a book. And so for the next few moments, we're just going to breathe and welcome ourselves into this beautiful space that you've prepared lovingly for yourself. As we come onto our mat and release the day, or maybe the night if you are just waking up. I know sometimes I have some pretty wackadoodle dreams, so to be able to come into a space that feels quiet and nurturing is very helpful. So just allow yourself a couple of deep breaths. And these breaths are going to be centered around the back of the heart. So perhaps you might feel your shoulder blades kind of shift off to the side as your rib cage expands and opens. With each exhale, bringing yourself to this moment and softening all your muscles, relaxing in the face, letting the jaw relax, allowing your heart to rest towards the floor. Releasing any holding in the back or shoulders. And just check in, see how you feel. And sometimes when we do that, when we check in to see how we feel, we're not always honest with ourselves. Maybe you are feeling a little stressed. Maybe you're feeling serious. And just allow yourself to be that way. And then allow yourself to release whatever isn't going to serve you in your practice. And as we set an intention for class today, maybe it will be openness. It can certainly be whatever is called to you. That's just a suggestion. But that's a nice one to work with as we try to be more open to our emotions, more open to letting go, more open to growth and ideas and sensations. All of these things we can experience on our yoga mat and then bundle them up and take them with us off the mat too. And this is how we begin to live our yoga off our mat. You know, it starts with us as we start to notice things within ourselves. We can begin to take that out into the world and be more mindful Take a few more breaths here. Notice if there's any tension still in any part of the body. And then we're going to slowly walk our hands to the right. Let our left hip dip to the ground. Forehead can kind of melt down as well if that feels comfortable. So just opening a little space through those intercostal muscles and the ribs, in between the rib bones. And then go ahead, nice and slow, make your way to the left. And just notice one side may feel a little tighter than the other, or maybe a little looser. Letting that right hip kind of shoot towards the back of the room. And then come on back to center. And we're going to walk our hands to the middle of the mat. Slowly draw ourselves back up, keeping toes together, knees separated. Pressing into the palms of the hands. And let's begin a little bit of organic movement here. And when I say that, I'm just inviting you to play. So, as kids, this is so easy to do. It's so easy to just let your body find whatever sensations feels really good in it. And as adults, it's a little more difficult, whether we feel silly or, we're stiff. Because the older we get, the stiffer we get, it seems. But to be able to do this on and off your yoga mat is really, really helpful. We get to move these muscles and joints around and just play. So I'm doing big circles. You are welcome to do big circles as well. And then coming into center, go ahead and draw those knees in, keeping those hands pressed into the ground, fingertips spread nice and wide, a little bit more pressure in the thumb and forefinger. Relax our shoulders back. We're going to hug in that low belly, let the tailbone relax, and just find this straight line. Crown of the head is pressing forward. The toes are relaxed and they're directly behind our knees. We're pressing slightly into the palms of the hands and into the knuckles to send energy up into our arms and shoulders. So we're not dipping our chest down, but we've got this little doming effect in the upper shoulders. Not rounding, just a slight dome. Take one more breath here. And then let's find cat-cow. Dipping belly down as you inhale, gaze and hips, sits bones spread to the back of the room. Gaze looks up. And then you're gonna gently prod the belly button towards your spine. Let the tailbone round down. Press through the arms and round through the spine, allowing the head to relax. And while we're here in cat, go ahead and find a little bit of movement in the neck, maybe side to side, up and down. And then nice deep breath in, find your cow again. And then go ahead and explore this for just a few more breaths, enjoying matching the movement with your breath. Full deep inhales. Empty, empty exhales. We cannot enjoy and experience the fullness of a big inhale if we don't relax and release through the exhale. And our breath is what nourishes our body, right? So we want to make sure that we allow ourselves these beautiful deep breaths. You know, not all the time, but certainly when we're in our practice. All right, so come to center, come back to that alignment that we began with. Let's go ahead and turn our fingertips towards our knees. And don't worry if you know, your hands only come out to the side. That's okay. Everybody's a little different. So just find a space where you can get a little stretch in the inside of the forearms. And you might even kind of rock from forward to back. Whew. Can tell which hand I write with for sure. I'm sure you can as well. Good. Give them a little shake. A little shake in the right wrist, a little shake in the left wrist. And then come back to center. Align your wrists underneath your shoulders. We're going to tuck in that belly and allow the tops of your feet to come to the ground. And we're going to lift our knees. So when you're ready, take an inhale and lift and hold. And we're going to breathe. You don't have to come a whole lot off the ground, just a half inch or an inch, hugging that low belly to spine. You've got this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Go ahead and drop the hands out in front of you. We're going to find puppy pose. Heart's going to melt down to the ground. And find a little movement in the fingertips, maybe spreading the fingers and then making fists, rotating through the wrists, just giving them a little break. Good. Let's come on back to tabletop, and we're going to do that one more time, but I'm going to give you another option. So you can stay with the knees hovered, or you can pick one knee and bring it forward. So right knee to right elbow, and then set it back down, and then left knee to left elbow. Totally just an option. And if neither of those work for you, then just stay and be really mindful of your alignment and where you are in your tabletop position. All right, so if you're ready, press into the tops of the feet, hug that low belly in to protect that low spine, and up we go. And then we're gonna draw the right knee in, left knee in. Exhale as you draw that knee forward. All right, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Nice job. Reach forward with your left hand, and we're going to take that right hand and thread the needle. So we're going to draw that arm out, and let yourself rest down towards your shoulder. So the idea is to get a nice little stretch through the upper shoulder on the right side here. If you feel like you're crunching, go ahead and put a block or a book or a blanket underneath your forehead to give your shoulder a little bit more space. So another option here, if this doesn't float your boat with your hips in the air, you can always come into a child's pose. So find what shape works best for you. And we're keeping the left hand stretched out, pressed into the ground. And let's separate the feet if they're not already, so they're just as wide as your knees. And you're going to press into your knees just a little bit, and you may feel some more engagement on the right side of the back, low back, upper back. One more breath here. And then we're going to draw the left hand towards our nose, and we're going to flip it around. So right hand stretches out, left arm's going to reach through. Figure out what feels good in the hips and the back. Pressing into that right hand, and then engage through the knees. And find your breath, nice and slow and steady. Perfect. Draw the right hand back to the nose. Press it down, draw yourself up. So good. Find a little organic movement here, just a little swish from side to side, rocking the hips and the head, opposite directions. Press the palms into the ground, and we're going to go ahead and make our way into downward facing dog. Turn those toes under and lift the hips up nice and high. Let it be a journey. Checking into all the different movements, all the different muscles. Have some fun. Walk those feet wide and back. Pressing into the palms. So this is very much like being in tabletop position. So we're pressing into the thumb just a little bit more. Pressing into your fingertips to take the pressure off the wrists. And then our shoulders are going to rotate out. Belly is going to connect to the spine and the hips will lift. And when you lift the hips, your heart space is going to draw just a little bit closer to your knees. So then we find this beautiful triangle shape. And then we're going to anchor down left foot, inhale, right foot high. Three-legged dog. Rotate through that ankle. You got it. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to draw the right foot forward, knee to elbow. And then inhale, draw it up. And exhale, knee to elbow. So we're coming kind of into a plank position here. And then last time, inhale, draw it up. And then exhale, we're going to slowly bring that right foot forward, plant it down, and then we're just going to straighten out the leg. So we're coming into kind of a pyramid variation here. If you need to, you can prop yourself on some blocks on your hands. So pressing through that back heel, and we're pressing through the front toes as well. We're taking our right hip crease, and you might even take your hand and place your thumb inside your hip crease if you feel steady enough, and then kind of drop that hip back just a little bit and see how that changes the connection of the muscles, the feeling in the muscles in the leg. And breathe. Take one more breath here, and we're going to bend into the knee on our next exhale. So bend into the front knee. Good. So we come into our low lunge. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, float that right hand down. Come back into that stretch for just one breath. And then bring it forward. Let's drop that back knee. Inhale, crescent lunge. Open through the heart space. Yeah. Tailbone is pressing down. Keep that open space. One more breath here. Big breath in. And then on your exhale, bring the palms together, and we're going to take a little twist. Left elbow to right knee. If that doesn't feel good for you, you're welcome to just twist in any way that feels comfortable in your body. Remember, the name of the game is comfort. If there's ever any pain, please do not do it. Take another deep breath in. Release. And then inhale, drawing the chest forward, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, float those hands down. Turn the back knee under, back toes under, lift up the back knee and come into forward fold. I'm going to use my block, having a flat back here rather than dropping all the way down into a forward fold. Feels better in my body, but you are more than welcome to come into a full forward fold. Take a few breaths here, check into the legs. Maybe even rotating the thighs inwards, sending those sits bones out and pressing into the toes. Deep breath in and release. One more time, big breath in. Let it go. Bring the left hand in front of you, and we're going to take a little twist. Right hand's going to float to the sky. So maybe the left knee bends and the right hip kind of kicks out a little bit. Relaxing the shoulder down. Take a big breath in, and when you're ready, exhale, release it down, and then go ahead and float to the other side on the inhale. And on an exhale, you're going to float back down. Take a nice deep breath, find your flat back. And exhale, hands to the ground. We're going to walk or jump our feet back into a plank. Knees can be down. And we're going to hang here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to the floor, hips to the floor. Hug those elbows to your waist. Roll it down. Take a nice deep breath in, baby cobra. And release. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Hugging those shoulder blades to spine. Exhale, release. On this last one, bring your fingertips out. So elbows are out from the shoulders, and we're going to tent our fingers. And when you're ready, take an inhale, hugging shoulder blades to spine. And maybe you come up just a little higher this time. And relax it down. Bring those hands back to the mat by the chest. Turn your toes under. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. And if you want, you can go ahead and go through tabletop. Maybe even take a small child's pose here. And then again, we just experience the journey as we make our way up. So we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and drop our right heel. Inhale, left foot high, rotate through that ankle for just a moment. And then take a nice deep breath in and exhale, elbow or knee to elbow, moving into plank. Inhale, left foot to the sky. Exhale, use that core, knee to elbow. Inhale, lift it up, and exhale slowly. We draw that left foot forward, plant it down, and then straighten out that left leg. So we come into our pyramid position here, dropping right heel down to the ground, pressing into the left big toe. And again, you can use your blocks here. I'm going to. My left leg is a little bit more stiff than my right. And then take your left thumb, put it in your left hip crease, and shift that hip back a little bit. Woo! See what that does. Feel what that does. And then keep pressing into that front big toe. Take a few breaths here, nice and deep. All right, we're going to take an inhale, bend into that front knee, drop the back knee, relax the toes in the back, and inhale, find your crescent lunge, opening through that heart space. Big breath in. On your next inhale, bring the hands together, and we're going to exhale into our prayer twist. Right elbow, left thigh. Pressing generously into the palms of the hands. Let that left elbow move towards the sky, lengthen through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine, all the way down to the back knee. And breathe. Beautiful. Take one more inhale, and as you do, you're going to face forward, fingertips to the sky. And exhale, right hand down, left hand up. On your exhale, left hand's going to come down. We're going to turn that back toe under, lift that back knee, and straighten out the left leg one more time, just for a breath here. And then bring it forward. We're going to scoop our right foot forward, finding that forward fold. Here we go. This time, maybe you want to clasp the elbows in your hands, really release through the neck. Soften the gaze, relaxing the eyes and the jaw. Bending into the knees, let's start to draw ourselves up. Connect to your glutes. We don't want glute fatigue here. Coming all the way up, big breath, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, right hand down to the side, left hand's gonna stretch to the side. Engage the belly, inhale, right hand meets the left, and then exhale, left hand down. Inhale, left hand to the sky. We're gonna do it one more time each side. Float the right hand down on the exhale. Good. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, release it down. Inhale, bring the left hand up. And as you float both hands down, go ahead and rotate through the wrists. And we're going to move into our tree pose. A little bit of balancing today. So come into the left foot. Come onto the left foot. Pressing into the sole of the feet. Spreading the toes. Lengthening from the heel. Imagine that there's a line from the heel to the crown of the head, and lengthen up. Draw that right foot in. And so you can just stay with the the heel pressing against the inside of the calf. That's up to you, toes to the ground. You can also bring the arch of the foot around the meaty part of your calf. Please do not press anything around the knee. No pressure around the knee. So none of this. Yeah, around the calf. Or if you prefer, you can draw the foot all the way up. And as you do that, pressing the thigh into the sole of the foot and the sole of the foot into the thigh. Find your breath. If it helps, you can imagine those roots growing down through the soles of the feet. If you really want a challenge, you can close your eyes. I can usually do that for a few seconds before I start to wobble, but it's kind of a fun challenge. And then once you find your stability, you can play with the arms and really grow into this beautiful tree. It is springtime here where I am, and one of my favorite things is just to watch the trees bloom, and it's such a wonderful thought to kind of put that into our own space, how we bloom and grow every day. And doing yoga is a perfect way to nurture yourself, to give yourself that space. All right, one more breath here. And as you exhale, you're just going to slowly release. Come on down to the right foot. Roll your left ankle, give it a little bit of love. My shirt keeps creeping up. It's going to be up around my neck soon. All right, so let's do the other side. So on the right, same thing. You're going to plant your foot. And you're going to imagine that line, almost like a string that you would tug, like in a pair of sweatpants. You know how you can bunch it up and then kind of spread it out nice and thin. So you're going to imagine kind of like you're bunched up like accordion style. And then as you lengthen and grow, that space kind of smooths out from the heel to the crown of the head. And then go ahead, and once you find that you're stable, you can draw that heel in, touching the toes to the ground, knees going to be out. I'm placing my hands here in Anjali Mudra. If it helps you to keep them at your side, on the hips or in front for balance, please go ahead and do that. And then from there, you can move on to wherever you would like to be on this side. And just allow yourself to find playfulness in your balancing postures. Balancing is so different every day. It's different from each side. So it's kind of a fun, gentle challenge. It's a challenge to kind of accept where we are. And to just allow ourselves to be in the space that we are currently inhabiting. And then once you find that good, stable space, then grow in whatever way makes you feel comfortable. Bring a little smile to your face. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, find that ease with the release and letting go. Good. Let's take a big breath in, fingertips to the sky. And you're going to exhale, float it down. So wherever you are, come to the front of your mat, if you're away from the front of your mat. We're going to heel toe our feet to the sides. Toes are off the mat, heels are on the mat, and we're going to go ahead and sit down into a squat. Now, if you're like, what? Yeah. You can sit on blocks if you want in your squat. So your hips might be tight, your heels might be off the ground. This is all absolutely fine. And if we can find a nice tall spine here, draw the elbows into the insides of the legs, bring the palms together, and we find this little prayer position as we lengthen through the spine, opening through the hips. If your feet are flat and you desire a little bit of a challenge, you can come onto your toes. So if you're on your toes, go ahead and relax back down. And we're going to take left hand down to the ground, and we're just going to take a nice deep inhale, open up with the right hand, and we're going to sweep it behind us. Take an inhale and an exhale. On your next inhale, bring it back the opposite direction. And we're going to do the opposite side. So inhale, rainbow, left hand up and back behind. And then inhale, bring it back forward. And then just pause here for a moment. And we're just going to sneak our feet back into center a little bit. Draw our hands behind us and drop down into the center of the mat. And we're going to come into boat pose, and we're just going to do a little bit of core work. So connecting into the low belly, rocking up onto our sits bones. Let's draw the toes up. Hands are going to reach out. So we're really connecting into the core. Shoulders are relaxed. And just breathe. So on your next inhale, we're going to elongate the right leg. And exhale. Right leg comes in, left leg goes out. Inhale, switch. Exhale. Keep that going. Nice and slow and mindful. If you want, you can take your hands behind your head and find a little bit of twist here, working into the obliques. Just a few more. Keep it going. Anytime you need to pause and stop, feel free. All right. I'm going to do one more each side. Come to center. Bring the hands down behind you and extend the legs out. Relax them down and float your back down. Take your hands above your head and give yourself this huge, generous stretch. You earned it. Hug all the muscles into bone. And then relax. Go ahead and sweep the knees into the chest. And then drop to the right. Knees are still bent, finding this gentle twist. Opening through the heart space if that feels good. We're just going to take 3 more breaths here, checking into the shoulders, making sure that they are relaxed. And then connecting to your core, we're going to roll back to center, and you're just going to go ahead and drop to the other side. Keeping those knees pretty close to your left arm. Taking a few breaths. And then on your next inhale, you're going to connect to the core, roll yourself back to center. And then we're going to do a couple of little rock and rolls here. So just kind of a little massage against the spine. If this doesn't feel comfortable, we're just going to meet in a seated position here in just a moment. I'm going to roll one more time. And then I'm going to come back. And we're going to find a seat. You can sit up on a blanket if you'd like, or your block. You can sit cross-legged or in hero's pose with your shins underneath you. Whatever feels really good in your body. And I invite you to come to a nice straight spine, and we're going to practice box breath. So we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, hold for 4. So let's take just a regular breath. Inhale, exhale. And then when you're ready, start to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath. 4, 3. Pull that belly button to your spine and pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Last cycle. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Release any holding in the body, that is. And release the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1 and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to regular breath. I invite you to close your eyes and just come into this quiet space for just a few more moments. Softening around the eyes, relaxing the jaw. Let the shoulders release away from the neck. Sits bones are pressing into the ground. And your legs, your hips should feel relaxed. If they don't, support them with blocks or blankets underneath them so you can truly let go. Hi. And then come back to your intention that you set earlier. And imagine taking it off the mat today. Bring your hands to your heart space, dipping the chin towards the fingertips in honor of you and your practice and showing up for yourself today. And because you show up for yourself, you are in turn showing up for others. Thank you so much for being here today. I am forever grateful. Namaste.